Uh-oh, it's counting down.
I need a 2, 1. And I need to
Why
mute
are
you.
you at the bottom, Tubby? I need you to not be at the bottom. I need you to be near
I'm at the
the.
I'm at the bottom. What are you talking about?
I need you to be near the lens so that.
So that you look at it. This
Yeah.
is this is funny. I'm gonna take a picture of this, because literally, from my vantage point, it looks like my camera is on your shoulders.
Oh, good. Then I'm doing a real
You're
good
you're
job.
back there, but
I'm gonna pump it up. Are we here? Did we?
I think we are.
Can YouTube see us?
I think we scared off everybody. It says there's 6 people waiting.
Oh, it says there's 4. Oh, now it's 3. We got 3 likes already. I don't know how that
There
happened.
are 4
4.
lights.
No, likes. Like subscribers.
Oh, I
Like and
got you.
subscribe. Tubby, I opened up all sorts of Gridfinity stuff over here. Am I sharing the screen? Can you see
I
the?
see. I see it. It's down here. You're sharing the
Oh,
screen,
good, and I see
and
it
it's in
in the
the
live
stream.
stream. In the stream, it's the screen is where I should be, I think.
Okay.
But
Where am I?
she doesn't let you do that. Oh, good. Larry likes home automation. Can see us. It's working. We had a little trouble with Brian's new microphone setup, but I
It's
think
not working so
we're
good. I have
we're
lots of
doing all right though.
microphones, thankfully.
Thank goodness. Oh crap, Tubby! I was supposed to start
The
the
lap timer.
stopwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far off am I? How long have we been? Is there a
It
timer in
says
here?
1 minute and 52 seconds.
All
53,
right. So I'm about
54.
2 minutes off. That's close enough.
All right. Pat has advanced video editing techniques.
I do. I hit lap on this lap timer every time we start an episode, so I can
Yep.
find them
Do you
when I go
need
to edit.
to. What do you usually do to make yourself less blocky?
Oh, yeah. I
Pause
paused
the
my
upload?
upload.
Okay. Look at me
Pause.
remembering stuff.
Nice job, Tubby. Should I
Hmm?
go through my checklist to make sure? Oh, I didn't hit record in OBS, Tubby.
Uh-oh. You were going
Where
to
the heck
hire
is
somebody to
OBS?
do that this week.
Well, not this week, but I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, what time do you have on your timer there, Tubby?
2 minutes and 42 seconds.
That's
I'm just,
about when OBS starts. But
I'm
she's
look,
got audio. I could sync her with audio. It'll be fine.
I'm looking
It'll
at the
be fine.
Riverside counter is all.
I must have set up the stream keys in Riverside because we're streaming to YouTube. I did not spill my coffee,
You did a good job not spilling
and,
coffee.
and it says lap there. All right, for anybody who's new out there in YouTube land, what we do is it's supposed to be the first Tuesday of every month, but Brian had 3 of his teeth pulled on Tuesday, last Tuesday. So,
These ones
so
right
we had to
here.
postpone it a week.
I
Brian,
could,
I hear your camera looks good. I've been told.
does it? What's
Yeah,
everybody on YouTube think?
that it's wider than before.
It is. You can see all of my 3D printer now, and
The
more
whole
of
thing.
the monitor. It used to be here. I'm finding my way. Like about this
I have to
wide.
look across 2 monitors. You've got your.
I
Yeah,
have
see, on
wide
you, my
arms.
camera looks like it's your Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator rocket launcher on your shoulder. Maybe. But, oh my goodness, what was I talking about?
You were talking about how this usually works for all of
Oh,
our new viewers.
that's smart, Tubby. We post a little 5 to 15 minute episode every Monday on YouTube, and this is where we record them. We're probably going to record 4 different topics tonight. We're, we
Only
don't do a good
4.
job of paying attention to the chat while we're, recording, but we stop in towards the end and, you know, in between
Catch
each
up.
episode. Should instead of just jumping right into the Gridfinity, because that's I did that one first because I had so many little video clips I wanted to
Okay.
put in tabs
It's
so I
like
can.
it's like fourth in the list
It is.
on our
It
worksheet
is.
here that nobody else can see except for the two of us.
That's true, but that was way more complicated. That was the most complicated one up here. Oh, I have an update. Because I don't know why I asked if we should do the pick and place update. I should have brought the PCBs over there somewhere.
That's
Oh, I
exciting.
see them. The pick and place kit shipped.
That's exciting.
Well, or at least the label was printed.
And it says shipped is the order status, right?
It does.
You
Yeah.
shared a
On
snippet of
Shopify.
that. Shopify.
Shopify.
You just have to install the app to know where it's going.
I heard a Discord or something.
Yeah, you did. I got a Discord. Somebody's telling me happy birthday right in the middle of our live stream.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to do, Tubby. Oh. I got so derailed. Happy birthday, Brian.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it.
It is your birthday for another 3 hours?
Yes. Maybe 4 because I was born in the mountain time zone.
Oh, so your birthday starts an hour later than everyone else's.
Yes. Or at least everybody in our time zone. 2 hours later than folks in the East Coast.
This is complicated.
It really is.
Did you see Tubby? I don't know if you can see. There's a reflection now because I've pushed the
Yeah.
camera back. There's a butter white down here.
Yep.
I was amazed to see that. My desk is very shiny.
It's very shiny. And it reflects your Butter Wet logo well.
But which of these topics should we hit, Tubby? I know we should hit we have to hit the Gridfinity bits.
Yes.
Should
Let's
we
talk.
do a little 5-minute keyboard episode?
We could do that. Did you bring your chicken nugget?
No. Chris doesn't know how to cook chicken nuggets, she told me.
How can you not know how to cook chicken nuggets? You just put them in the microwave.
I don't know how to cook them. Is that true? You don't have to
Well, you could. I mean, I guess if you wanted to make a proper chicken nugget,
I don't know how to do that
they're
either.
what is it, like breaded chicken paste or something? I think they're pretty disgusting.
Put it in the blender or something.
Yeah.
An industrial one.
Well, we won't make Chris do that. I know that they sell like frozen chicken nuggets that you just heat up.
We have on the list. I have a YouTube video of. Oh, am I missing chat that you're holding that up for?
No. I was just practicing. I was watching the autofocus work. Yeah, Yulia says the air fryer for chicken nuggets.
Oh yeah, I have this thing, Tubby. This organizer
Ooh, that's fancy.
that a gentleman did. I have some thoughts, and I like it, so I thought it was a good.
This is the first time seeing it. I'll be a good co-host for that part.
Keyboards. We'll have to look. I'll have to look up your keyboard and my keyboard to paste them in here.
Yeah,
That's a
mine's
big
what, the
keyboard.
RK80 something?
Royal Kludge.
Royal Kludge?
Something.
Royal Kludge.
Yeah, and the number means how many keys, the percentage of keys it has, or the number of keys it has.
I'm looking at the back of it for a model number. Yeah, it's the RK84 for later. I was correct, what I remembered.
You did a good job.
Maybe.
Oh, and then there's the RK87, which is just slightly wider. You know, it literally takes the 10 key off. Of the
Okay.
87. It's just
It's
they
got
don't
the arrow.
compress in those other. So I say we get right into Gridfinity. What do you say, Tubby?
Let's do it. That's all my 3D printer has been doing.
And these are probably in a good order here. All right, you want me to introduce the episode, Tubby?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I forget how to do this. I'm looking at me. Look at the camera, Pat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my lovely co-host, BrianCMoses.com from BrianCMoses.com. And we've been going bananas 3D printing things.
Oh my goodness.
The last week or two, especially you, Brian. You've gone farther than I have. With what have we been 3D printing, though, Tubby?
We have been 3D printing the Gridfinity storage system, ecosystem. What's the right word there?
That's a good question. System. How about just
System.
system?
Yeah. It's a grid at the base, and then there is an entire collection of parts that just fit right into the base, the tray. It comes in a couple different, the base comes in a couple different methods. One's real thin. It's just kind of a literal grid. And then Zach Friedman.
Zach Friedman, lovely gentleman here.
Yep. There's also a weighted base where you can put tire weights or magnets into to kind of, I guess, put maybe at a desk or at a workstation or something. And we've each.
I was just going to find a spot to pause the video. That would have been a good one where it's got some. Oh, and I could go to your setup here, Tubby.
Yeah,
What have you organized?
So what you're showing here on the screen, this is my IKEA Hemler? I forget the name of it. It's an inexpensive little set of
Metal
micro drawers, metal micro drawers, yeah. And for the longest time, I've put all of my camera accoutrement on top of it. My chargers, my batteries, things that I use for our podcasts, and they just kind of all sat on there in a mess. So I decided to print, a grid that fit on top of that, and then containers on it with little magnets in each of the containers to hold the grid in place. And that took a few days, almost
a long time.
Yeah, of almost nonstop printing, but I've got it completely covered now in bins, and it's fantastic.
Now, what's really cool about these bins that we haven't mentioned yet, I've organized drawers with little custom bins, but with these little grids on the bottom, you can stack containers on top of each other, and so you get a third dimension to your storage organization. That's something I was totally missing out on before.
Yeah, I've got it in my top drawer.
I've got my camera has a special custom thing that fits the lens and the camera and some batteries and stuff. And then underneath that, you pull the lid off, and then there's containers with SD cards and microphone covers and microphone holders and stuff. So I'm liking this idea that I could take an important thing and put it on top, and then organize related things on the layers underneath.
Underneath it. Yeah, one of the things that I did is I have like a million little USB devices, mostly thumb drives, but other things too, like Bluetooth adapters, Wi-Fi adapters, our little HDMI capture cards. So I printed a bin to hold all those things, and then I'm gonna grab it here, and then I printed a lid where I put all of the different most commonly used ones right on top of that storage.
Yep, so you don't have to go digging for the common stuff.
Yep, it's pretty tight. The tolerances on this, you really got to.
You're not strong enough.
No,
it's not strong enough.
It's always physical therapy. It's my bum shoulder.
And you've got some of these magnetized to the top of your little chest of drawers there, and you've got them in the drawers. And somebody made that. It's hashtag Gridfinity, mostly on Thangs.com.
Mostly on Thangs, but also on printables and Thingiverse. I mean, they're just slowly propagating everywhere.
And Zach has some neat custom. I'm going to start playing one of. I paused his video in a couple places, and I know what this part's going to be. Oh, geez, it's not muted. You probably can't hear that.
No, I didn't hear it. You did fine.
The Alexander Chapel has a system sort of like this, with the grid on the bottom, and but his you have to buy. You have to buy the plans.
Yep.
And they're reasonably priced. It's fine. You have to buy You have to buy the STL files, print them, and organize them. But Zach's system is open source. I I should have looked up the license, Tubby. That would have been a smart thing to know. And I've been interested in Alexander's storage system for months, maybe more than a year. I don't know how long it's been up there. But when I look at it and they tell me, well, you got to spend $5 for this assortment, $10 for that assortment. I see them up here. There's different sizes. And then I have to buy filament. Then I have to 3D print them. Then I have to pick out the ones I want. And I just, I'm not going to do it. I, but I don't know about you, but when I saw that Zach's was open source and I could just start downloading and printing things and playing with things and doing things, I jumped right on it immediately.
Yeah, I was a little slower than you, but I felt kind of the same way. I didn't want to as much iterating as I did. I didn't want to pay and then get an STL and find out, well, hey, it didn't work out the way that I thought it would. And I don't know maybe you could get a refund. I mean, I assume that there's some good
Well, but
support in
even
there.
so,
But
it's just another barrier to
yeah,
getting started, and the friction here is so low. And something I noticed here, Tubby, that we didn't mention: you can print the grids in small pieces and set them next to each other, and the bins can overlap from one grid to the next to the next.
yep.
He's not really showing us this with the hammer, but it reminded me
He's
that
yeah,
we should mention that.
he's not. And that's part of the reason that I put magnets in all of my containers so that when a container crossed two grids borders, that it held that, especially on the top of my drawers, it held everything in place. But the
Yeah, you
shit,
don't want to accidentally have the whole thing just slide right off of your.
yeah.
I was
But
gonna call it a desk. I know it's not a desk.
it's kind of like a desk. It's
It is.
it's an extension of my desk. That area is.
And I've printed a couple of these bins where you can divide up the small, like that bin he has here. It's 2 grid units wide,
Why?
but it has 5 little parts bins in them. It has room to write labels on there.
Yep.
I set up 2 over at my workbench for quadcopters where I have one set of bins has M2 screws, the other one has M3 screws. They're in order. They're the common sizes that I use. They're all labeled. And they're even color coded. My M2 bin is one color and my M3 bin is another color.
That's smart.
Thank you. And I think it's kind of cool that I'm not gridded up everywhere yet, but I'm working on it. If I had a grid over here at my desk and I was working on something over here and I needed screws, I could just bring that bin of screws from over there over to here and put it in the grid that's here. They could be moving between
Yeah.
workstations.
Yeah, that's really cool. I kind of like the idea that you could have multiple bases set up and you could move things from one place to the other and then put them away. I mean, one of the things that I hate about the quadcopter stuff is that I got all the tools and I've got a drawer where they go, but I take them all out and then that drawer and I put them somewhere. It's just a mess. It's just kind of moving a mess around every time I work on a quadcopter. But with
Yep. And at least now you could tidy up the mess into a cluster and a stack.
yes,
of
it's
mess.
I guess a fixed size. It's easy to, I guess it would be easy to organize it and clean it up once and then just move those bins from place to place and not have to constantly be making and unmaking that mess.
Yeah. And he has some neat grids where you can plunk these onto your Prusa or Ender 3 3D printer
Yep.
and stack up tools. He's got lots of customized 3D printer slots for glue sticks and hairsprays and
Nozzles and
And he has CNC machine end mill holsters and all kinds of crazy stuff. And there's more stuff showing up every day that I search. There's something new. And
yeah,
I don't mind that Zach keeps looking at us, but I'm trying to find the parts where it's showing off his stuff here to have in the background.
and we'll put this video in the description of the link to Zach's video. in the
Oh, absolutely.
description
Well,
for
the link
sure.
to his video, the link to the stuff on that he uploaded to Things, and and it'll say it down the bottom
Yeah.
while we're talking about it. And when we make the episode, Tubby, I will edit the good parts in next to while we're talking the appropriate things,
Yeah. Yeah.
not just what's playing here.
It helps the audience. Our live studio audience.
It's
Studio
true.
audience?
Well, it says YouTube Studio over here, so I'm going to go with studio audience.
Okay. That makes sense.
But
What
I
what's
could
your
talk about the
favorite
Gridfinity for an hour.
what's
Tubby,
your favorite Gridfinity bin so far?
Ooh. Oh, the M3 screws, the little simple one, is my
Okay.
favorite so
That's
far.
your
How
favorite
about
so
you?
far? I really like my USB one, but this one's not too bad either. It's for my cheap Harbor Freight calipers.
Oh,
It
yeah, it
fits
is.
right in there. And I don't know if you remember
Now it's a
because you've
hammer.
yeah, you remember because you've seen it before. I had a 3D printed case for this, and it was in the drawer, and it took up like probably 25% of that drawer just from all of the size of the case. This is smaller. It's taller, but I really like it.
You know, I'm thinking about printing one of the ones where you lay tools down, 5 or 6 of them, and putting my caliper in one. My drawer isn't. I have a tall drawer over here where I keep this stuff.
I
Yeah,
did. This
one of
is
those.
this is Zach's nippers one. I like that because, I have a pair of these just about everywhere that I could think of needing them.
You
But
can never have too many
I
flush
like
cuts.
I like how it works.
That's exactly the thing I was thinking about putting my calipers in because they can't stand up in this drawer.
Yeah.
But Alexander Chappell's stuff is really meant for drawers. That was what he wanted to do, is organize drawers. Zach wants to organize workspaces. And it's working fine in a drawer, and I'm sure Alexander's stuff works on a workspace too. I'm
yeah.
sure these both work both ways, but there's a different goal behind
There's
each
an
one,
emphasis. Yeah.
Yep. But what about you folks out there? What are you guys going to be printing some Gridfinity stuff? Or are you already printing Gridfinity stuff? And do you think it's as awesome as Brian and I think it is?
Let us know what your favorite Gridfinity bins are. I want to see links to things that people have enjoyed putting in their drawers or at their workplaces.
Oh, I do too. Show us your Gridfinity hashtag stuff. That's what I say.
Please.
I want to see it. I agree with you, Larry. I would be bummed out if I bought an STL and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I
yeah,
bet you, as far as I know, Alexander's doing a fantastic job. We've almost done an episode on his stuff a few times, but I never printed any of it, so it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, it's
But
more
now that I've printed so many grid things, yeah,
it's way more exciting once you actually start printing it and putting it to use. I mean, I had fun even with the things I guess that failed. We found an OpenSCAD prototype that somebody had shared, and I had quickly designed and modified and iterated and printed things that didn't work, and I had fun that whole time just churning things out of the printer. I'd put a couple bins on the plate that I knew would work or that I would use, or even if I didn't use them, I knew I could make them work somewhere down the road. And that
and
that
it's a
was fun.
fantastic way to use up the end of a spool of filament.
Yes.
I'm gonna just when I don't know what to print with a spool I'm not happy with, I will just start printing boxes. And the nice thing is the boxes, even if it's not quite the right box for what you want to use today, it might be next month. You might use it somewhere else. It's not a waste. You will use the bin.
This is true. Can you imagine this in the kitchen? Gridfinity, all your
Ooh.
silverware stuff.
Oh,
Because I hate those
the
those silverware
two
trays.
stories,
They're
too.
never the right size. Or your family uses. My family makes fun of me because I like the little spoons for cereal, and everybody likes the big spoons. So you've always got the. It'd be nice to be able to customize all of that exactly to the silverware that you're using. or
Yeah, and you can put
whatever
more
coloring.
underneath them
Yep,
too. You don't
underneath.
have to. Yeah, different. Oh
Yeah,
goodness, Tubby.
if you buy too much silverware on the off chance that you have 20 people over for Thanksgiving, you could have two layers, but a shallower top layer for just what you and your family have, and then the deeper layer for when guests come over.
Everybody else comes over.
Yep. I
Oh, I
didn't.
never hit the lap button before that episode,
I didn't
Tubby.
point at it. Those white drawers back there are all of my spare quadcopter parts, and those are all Hemler drawers. And I kind of want to print Gridfinity stuff for all of those. Oh, hey, look, I'm in my shadow.
Yeah, you are. Oh, that's bright.
Golly.
All right, I remembered to hit lap after we were done with that topic.
We were done at 25 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't know if that helps us or not.
What do you want to talk about next, Tubby? You want to talk about your camera upgrade?
Yeah, do we? After it's gone so well so far?
Well, it's only been an audio problem, and it's probably not even the camera's fault.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to open for that.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
How about we do the keyboards next?
Yeah,
Tubby,
let's
since I've
let's do
got-
the keyboards because that'll be fun about making you eat a chicken nugget.
I've got one open here for.
You have to remind me to hit a key before I hold this up so that the LED backlight is active. It times out pretty quick.
I don't need the tweets about the Gridfinity.
I forget the keystroke to change the lights.
What do you think my keyboard's
Oh,
called?
there we go. Look at that.
Mine's a cheapie.
It's colorful.
I didn't get to look, Tubby.
I bet you the Gridfinity bins would be awesome in James's RV. He's talking about
They might tip over when
They
you
might.
go around the corners
too
fast.
fat. That'd be even better. He'd have to make them taller, deeper.
I don't have that mouse anymore. Latest. Look at that old. Look at my old Zoom microphone in that.
Look at that.
screenshot.
The red clown nose. It would have matched
my
your
God.
your red headphones. You don't even have those anymore.
I don't. These are too nice to have. September 25th, 2019. I bought this keyboard.
Seriously, that's a long time.
Can I make this bigger? I think I paid about $25. Oh, I could set a reminder to reorder a keyboard.
Do you wear them out that fast? Predictably
No.
that fast?
We did spill coffee on this keyboard.
Yeah, we
On a
did.
live
Not
stream.
we. You did. I had nothing to do with that.
I wish I hit record before that happened.
I wished you had too. That would have been funny. You made faces.
Do I have a tweet with my big old keyboard in it?
Your Model M?
Yeah.
You have to. That thing was iconic. If I was helping design a petshead.com logo, it would have included a
It
Model
would have
M
been a
keyboard.
Model M.
Yeah,
Geez, I don't.
on your blog.
Probably, but boy, do you know how long ago it would have been? It's so long ago it'll be a potato photo. Oh my goodness, look at
It's
this.
great to be using a mechanical keyboard again. Look at that
It
picture.
was.
Holy moly.
Look at that.
You did
Look
take
at
a
that little
picture.
old picture. That's with the potato.
That is with a potato.
Look at those old monitors. Look at that. I have some. Look Look at that old Logitech wireless Bluetooth mouse.
Wrong cap on the decimal. No cap on the 3. The 2 key.
Yeah, I was short keys and I had to. The one
I'm
I
gonna
had
paste
had
this.
missed. I forget what I had to do, but I got it straightened out. Are any of these tweets over here? Is back to the right size yet? There we go.
It's almost a decade ago, Pat. It's 9 years, 8 years, and 11 months ago. Am I doing
The
that math
keyboard
right?
was that blog?
Yeah, June of 2013.
Now, you know what's impressive? Do you see that little picture there, Tubby?
Yeah? Uh-oh, I can't see what you're hiding. There's your swing line stapler.
My red swing line, and my some things are still here, Tubby.
Yeah, good.
My organized.
I don't think there's anything on my desk that's from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I expect that cigar box will be here forever. It'll outlive me. Oh my gosh, I might be sitting in that chair.
I bet you're right.
I'm in an Aeron, but I don't know. Yeah, that might be this chair. Oh my goodness, Tubby. All right, so where am I? What are we?
Well, the whole premise was that you bet me that I'd like this keyboard, and the bet was you'd eat a chicken nugget. That wasn't the actual.
Was.
That wasn't the actual bet, but that's what you offered.
No, but that was the best I could come up with.
And then once you were trapped in that, and you realized that you might have to eat a chicken nugget, you took it back real quick. You didn't even get a chance to welch on that bet.
I didn't. All right, I don't know how I'm going to hand this over to you, Tubby, but we'll do this both ways here. We'll figure it out. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host, Brian C. Moses from briancmoses.com. And Brian and I have been talking about and arguing about and discussing keyboards for the last few. I mean, how many weeks ago did I make you buy a new keyboard, Tubby?
I bet you it's been a month, maybe 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I would guess.
It was after the last live stream, for sure.
Yes.
So it could be up to 5 weeks.
And I think it was like immediately right after it, because you. Trying to think here.
Did I?
I'm gonna cut this. No, I mean it was almost like right after it. You brought it up the day or two after. So I, for the longest time, have been using a full-size keyboard. I love it. I love everything about all of the keys, the numeric keypad. And Pat has been using a 10-keyless keyboard now for 2 or 3 years.
Since we learned, I'm going to put this up. This is the keyboard at Amazon that I'm using, right? It's a cheap keyboard. I haven't even gotten a nice one yet. That I bought. It says September 25th, 2019.
So 2.5 years.
Is that 2.5 years?
I don't know.
God, that's a potato picture. We'll put a better one of this in the... When I didn't get there yet. But yeah, for a long time I was using an IBM Model M keyboard. This one right here. I mean, full-size keyboard, 101 keys. There's no Windows key or the Windows menu key, whatever that's called.
It didn't even exist when that keyboard was manufactured.
It did not. That one I think is from 1993. That's not a very old one. At a company I used to work at back in the 90s, we bought a bunch of the small Model M's. They were 10 keyless. It was just the 10 keys were lopped off, and it still had the arrow keys. But that's still a big keyboard.
Yeah.
Because the keyboard sticks 1.5 inches to the left. You still have another 1.5 inches to the right past the keys. There's a lot of keyboard there. And then my good friend Tim mailed me. He had a spare, very nice Razer Black Widow keyboard with green cherry switches. They're the heavy cherry switches. And I used that for a long time and I liked it. And then I saw this deal on this funny, I'm not even going to try to say the brand on this keyboard, but this little 80, no, oh my gosh. Do you think it has 88 or 81 keys, Tubby? Because it says it has 81, but it's called the Z88.
We can pause and you can count them.
I don't want to count them. But but what they've done on this, I had to try it. It had blue switches. It was $25 at the time, and I said we have to try it. All they've done is they scooch the arrow keys in. They're still there in the same upside down T. It still has all the function keys up at the top. And I'd hold this up, but I'm afraid I'd break the live stream. And they scooched in like, the home and page up and page down. Pretty much all the keys are there except for the other 10 keys. And I was goofed up for quite a while, Tubby. I did what you did sometimes. I'd bang on the number key, enter key. I would click on something, paste something in with just the mouse, because, on Linux I'm middle clicking to paste, so I don't even touch the keyboard. And I would just, tap the enter key with my thumb to, paste a URL in and hit go. But that's not that's not an enter key on the corner. Is yours an enter key on the corner?
No.
But what I'm excited about, what I think everybody should be excited about, is that I've gotten to move my mouse to the left by like 6 inches, it feels like. Does that seem about right?
I bet you that's about right. I mean, especially compared to your Model M, which had great big, huge, it's still a bezel? But there was lots of plastic. Lots of plastic
and the Razor was
metal.
Not exactly, it had a bezel too. Not a huge one though. But what did you got a Royal Kluge?
I got a Royal Kluge RK84. It was
I've got that opened up here in the
Pat routinely posts deals in our Discord server, link down in the video description. And he has been, I don't want to say nagging. That's not the right word. Pat has been encouraging repeatedly, persistently, me to abandon my great big full size keyboard and try something smaller because of all of the benefits of the extra desk space that you get. And one of the things that I've run into,
I have a large desk, Tubby.
Yep.
But that's prime real estate.
Yep.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was running into is, I'm sitting right at my computer desk. The monitor's behind the camera, and then I have a tripod. There's just no room. I mean, I was constantly pushing the monitor back or pulling the keyboard towards me, and I could barely wedge it all in there. And Pat correctly said that a smaller keyboard would help solve all of that. But every time Pat suggested it, I told him, "You're wrong, Pat. I'm gonna hate when the numeric keypad goes away because I type numbers all the time. That's where I type numbers. I don't ever type them anywhere else. They're on the numeric keypad. The page up, home, and end buttons. I mean, in that place, I knew the minute that they moved, I would be trying to find them like this, and I was right. Pat was
Brian,
even.
Do you know why I have confidence in you? One time I flew home to visit my parents, and shortly after I got there, I called my wife, Chris. I said, "Chris, I have terrible news." I said, "My parents got a new toilet." And she said, "Well, what's so bad about that?" I'm like, "Well, Chris, I learned to poop on that toilet." And she said to me, "Don't worry, Pat. You'll learn to poop on this toilet too." And she was right.
Chris is smart. But in fairness, you've been pooping in lots of other toilets since then.
That's true.
You've already demonstrated the ability to poop on different toilets. I
I
have
mean,
not.
honestly, it's not that much different. The toilets are basically the same all the
Yes.
time, right? So it's
Yeah.
not.
It's
But
not
I
like
have
it's
confidence that you could
84% of a
relearn
toilet. I
things.
mean, if the toilet seat was smaller, you might be going, no, 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 I can't do that.
Oh my goodness.
Um, so yeah, Pat kept telling me, and he even almost offered to eat a chicken McNugget if I didn't like the 84 keyboard. And
I did.
before
I said we've got to come up with a good bet, and we never figured it out.
and when he
We
said
did.
that, he didn't say that he would, but the minute that he said that, I said, I'm going to order this so that on the next live stream, I get to make Patty a chicken McNugget.
He did.
But alas, he did not. He immediately started walking back the chicken McNugget idea. He's like, no, 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 we got to find
Yeah.
something else to bet. I'll do anything. I'll drive an automatic sports car. I don't know what would have been a good
These are all
bet.
terrible things, Tubby. These are all
Um,
terrible things. Now, I had a weird problem when I switched keyboards last time. Because this little, it's like yours, it doesn't have much bezel in the front where, these parts of your fingers rest. And that Razer keyboard, it might have had a little extension up there, like not a rest, but and I'd be in here in the dark and we'd be playing Team Fortress 2, Tubby, and I would put my hands down by the keyboard. And I didn't think I was there. I had to look down. I'd be looking for the lights, trying to figure out. Yeah, because this wasn't touching it. I couldn't. I was like, something ain't right.
Something's weird about it.
It's just weird. Yeah.
And that's really been my biggest challenge is just the 40 years, a lot of years of muscle memory of where
Brian
keys
had his
are.
50th birthday today.
Almost 46th. But I've I have been doing mostly okay. I do fantastic as long as I don't have to do anything to the right. Like I no longer I no longer page up, page down, control home to go to the top of the document, control N to go to none of that works for me anymore. Well, it does. I go like this. First I try it and then I miss and that makes me mad. And then I glare at the keyboard and I stare right at my fingers and that makes me even a little bit more mad. And then I
And
take a
I'm looking.
break.
Yours is about the same. Oh, you have an extra key. You have an extra control key that I'm missing.
Are you jealous? Do you want mine?
No, I would never be able to hit that. I'd miss that.
Yeah, I
But
don't know. Well,
I also have my delete key is also. Oh, you have two more keys. You have at least two more keys than I do, Tubby. I don't have a pause and a print screen up there. Those are double duty on home and end. You have to hit function home and end
oh,
to
okay.
get pause and print. And I get insert by hitting function delete. I don't know when the last time I've ever toggled insert mode is, but it's it's there.
I never talk. I never toggle it on purpose, but I turn it back on
Yeah.
purpose.
Now this, your Royal Kluge 84 says it's a 75% keyboard, and that's about what mine is. 75% basically means it's a 10 keyless. If you go down to 60%, they take the whole row of function keys off the top.
Yeah, I would hate
And
that.
I would be a bummed out. That's, and as far as I'm concerned, that's not prime real estate up there. I'm never looking to put more stuff in front of my keyboard, very rarely.
Yep.
But this spot over here where my mouse goes, having that 6 inches closer it's nice. I don't know if you can see me doing this over here, but I'm doing it. I'm reaching. Have you missed your mouse? Like, have you gone over and you like overshoot it by 8 feet? Like when you get in a car that's an automatic and you put your foot through the floor
I
because there's no
haven't.
clutch?
I haven't missed my mouse. I must be pretty good at understanding, the
Where
edge,
you left
the
it?
far edge of the keyboard and getting back to it. The thing that I do most frequently is I press enter. I press that right enter key when I don't mean to. When I'm hunting for something else. I don't know why that is. I feel that key over there. That other key, I don't know. But that's the thing that I do all the time. Pat knows because every
It
time.
took me a while to stop doing that. Whatever I used to do with my thumb to hit that enter key, that extra enter key.
Yeah.
And it's not like I could remap that. That's an arrow key. Yeah. Oh, and those 60% keyboards don't usually have the set of arrow keys.
Okay.
And I don't want to lose those because what if I want to play an old DOS game that needs arrow keys?
Yeah.
I got to have them, right? And I'm really interested in all the. I've been especially looking at this dactyl keyboard, these oddly
That's very weird.
laid out with lots of thumb keys.
I would.
I would love to have one, but I'm afraid of what happens if I try to play a
Games.
first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Because
I
you're
don't-
not moving your. If you move your fingers over to WAS and D, now the space bar, all the thumb keys are wrong.
Yep.
And people on the internet tell me, well, you just set up a layer so that all the keys shift virtually and you don't move your finger. But then what happens when I want to talk in text chat?
This is
Now I've got to make sure I switch layers.
a conundrum. Yes.
Yeah, and then you've got to make sure you get back. It just seems terrifying. And that's at least 5% of my sitting at the desk time is playing video games. So I don't want to screw that up.
I knew that I would hate not having a numeric keypad, and I was absolutely right about that. And a bunch of people on the internet said to just get a USB numeric keypad for those times that I needed it. But
So
I-
every time you get a text message with the 6-digit code to put in, you could unpack the number pad from your laptop bag, plug it in,
and if that's
punch in the 6-digit code, and then
and
tidy
those
it
are
up and put it away.
those are the codes that I'm finding that I miss, that I type most frequently. No, and I want to solve that some other way. Let's get away from passwords and dual factor authentication codes.
The only auth code I've been having to put in since I got that new laptop, especially, I've been noticing, is my Steam codes.
Yes.
And they're always letters.
Yep.
So I said, thank goodness, Steam. Thank you for not making me type numbers.
I have a whole list of things that I've set up dual factor authentication, using Google Authenticator, and I had no idea how many of those I had set up until I didn't have a numeric keypad anymore.
Yep. So now that you've been doing this for about a month, now what'll be interesting, I went over to Chris's desk where she has that old Razer Black Widow, old. It's not that old of a keyboard. It's a nice keyboard. I sat at her desk. I was like, my God, the keyboard. It's like, it's so wide.
Yeah.
You'll be. I'd feel so weird with a big keyboard.
I
don't know what I'm trying to ask you.
I
really.
still have the full-size keyboard at my other desk where I do all of my work, and it's not weird because I do enough work during the week that it's more like, I don't know what the right way to say it is.
Yeah, you're splitting your time anyway.
I'm way more familiar once I get back over there. I'm more confident in typing, and I know that I don't have to look at my fingers when I'm doing something. And I kind of feel like I always have to look at my fingers over here. I don't know the right way to fix that. I'm half tempted to just get another,
little guy.
get another guy and use it over there so that I get better. But who knows?
Yeah, you're slowing down your adoption rate.
Yes.
Your something. Your comfort's gonna take longer to get there.
But
when you...
I like it. I'm using it in the wireless. Its wireless ability. I like that it's wireless. I like that right now I didn't have to tug on my keyboard as hard as I could to get it away from, where my camera's newer, even bigger tripod is. So I think I'll stay with it. I don't think you'll have to eat a chicken nugget.
But really what I want to know, Tubby, what would you say to the people out in the audience out on YouTube? What would you tell people, if there's a $25 micro keyboard, 74% or whatever this is, should you give one a try? Is it worth 20 or 30 bucks for an experiment?
I think I'd encourage someone to try it out. I mean, I think it really depends. It's really subjective. It's one of those things like, I don't know what kind of coffee you like, your favorite potato chips. There's not really not a wrong answer. I would say if you're like me and you're saying, no, I have to have a full size keyboard, I'm gonna hate it, and the only way that I'll try it out is if you'll eat it, if my friend will eat a chicken nugget on his live stream. If you're like that, I'd say, hey, give it a try because you might be surprised what you find out.
Yeah. And
And
you
if you're
might be
more,
surprised how few numbers you actually type
yeah,
in a day.
yeah, this is true too. Yeah, I'd say definitely give it a try. If you see a cheap one, buy it, pick it up, try it out. You can never have too many keyboards, I've found.
It's nice to have spares.
Yeah, spare keyboards are nice to have around. So if you had a spare, 10 keyless keyboard that you wound up hating, it would do in a pinch, with another computer, or if, your
Yeah,
your
or if you have to
favorite,
plug something into a server or
yeah,
something like a server or Raspberry Pi or something.
or if you spilled coffee all over your keyboard at the beginning of a live stream and the
Yeah.
keyboard quit working.
You know what was nice, Tubby? These are hot swap keys on mine.
Yep.
So and it came with some spares. Isn't
Yeah,
that weird?
this one did too.
Yeah, I put spares in, and
You're
I
a
think
good.
I might have been one short. I think one was still a little sticky. But when I started building Jeremy's macro pads, I had all kinds of extra blue switches, so I snuck one in.
You did a good job.
But that's the next thing I want to try is upgrading these switches. I put into Google and I found a couple of Reddit posts that told me which key switch I would like if I really like the Model M buckling springs.
Okay.
They said, "Oh, you got to try this box pink skin tone. I don't know what it was called." I said, "Oh, maybe I should just get 84 of them or whatever it is and
Give it a try.
fill up this keyboard and see if I like them."
Well, that'll be
But there's
another
a nice
episode.
keyboard like this. There's a custom keyboard everybody builds, and we should look up the name, and I'll write it down here because I don't know the name. It looks just like our keyboards, except the top corner key on the over on the number pad side
Uh huh.
is a knob.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
Yeah, and there might be more than one of them, but
That'd be
that
neat
one's
to have.
expensive though. That's like something like $150 for the kit, and
Wow.
then you have to put it together. That's not a cheap. I don't know why it's not a cheap keyboard,
It's got a knob.
but I like having the knob. I use the knob in video editing all the time. But you guys out on YouTube, all of our friends out there, if you're using a different size or shape or weird keyboard or one of those nifty split keyboards or something, let us know what you're using in the comments and what we should check out because I'm very tempted to try a split keyboard.
I want to make Pat play TF2 with a split keyboard.
Yeah, it'd be okay until, there's a couple of FPSs like, usually G is your grenade key.
Uh huh.
That'll be on the correct hand still.
Yep.
But then every now and then something uses H for something much less used. That'd be on the other keyboard.
Other side where your
Yeah,
mouse.
where you're on your mouse hand.
Yep.
I don't know how.
You'd
I think
rebut.
I'd be okay in TF2, Tubby. It would be once we got to. And split isn't too bad. If it's split with the same space bar, you could still shift your hand back and forth. But if it's one of those keyboards that I want that has like 4 or 5 keys for each thumb, then you stop reaching for things with your pinky. You put enter on a thumb key,
Yeah.
things like that, so you don't reach. I'd love to do that, but I think it would goof me up a lot.
Yeah. Every
But
game
Brian,
you would. Go ahead.
Twitter will tell me when you want to play TF2, just pack up the little keyboard and put a real keyboard on your desk.
It's good to
But I
have
don't
spare
wanna do that.
keyboards. Yeah, that's a lot of work. I think that'd be a barrier to playing video games, and that'd be a bummer.
Yeah. I want less friction getting towards playing video games. Less.
Stop working so hard. Play more video games.
Yes. Does that count as an episode, Tubby?
I think that counts as an episode.
I agree that split keyboards are scary. I think they're really neat, but I think they'd cause me so many weird issues.
Yes, it'd be like learning how to drive on the left-hand side of the road, I think.
Yeah, especially manual where the shifter would be in the wrong hand.
God almighty, yes, that would be awful.
I mean, I know we'd figure it out. I mean, I'm not, but it would be weird.
I don't know. I've tried to do that before. Have you ever tried to shift left-handed? while somebody else was
Well,
driving?
yeah, I mean, I've drank a thing and reached over and
Yeah, but
I mean only at slow
that's
speeds
even
though.
different. I mean,
Yeah.
first gear would be away from you,
Is that true?
right? Well, it would be like
Oh yeah,
it would be
they're
like
in
fifth
number
gear.
order.
Yeah.
They're in number order. Good gravy. Tubby.
I don't want it. I don't want. I love England. I'll just get Uber.
All right, I think we got a short episode coming up next, Tubby. Is this
Okay.
drawer organizer.
The drawer organizer. Not like
Oh, I know why this is interesting. I'm going to bring up Carbide 3D did a
3B.
3D.
Yeah,
The
but did you
shape
say
company.
3B?
I
It
hope
sounded like
not.
you
Well,
said
we could
3B.
find out. We could check the recording.
Yeah,
We could go
lap.
back to.
Hit the lap button. Did Pat say
Oh, don't make me
3B?
hit the lap button. I'm gonna have enough trouble figuring out the lap button. They did one on EVA foam. Oh, good. That's muted too. No, stop playing, Judy. You don't need to play. All right, you ready? You ready, Tubby?
I'm ready.
Ish.
Ish. I've not seen this, so
All right, I'll do an intro. Oh, I should do lap again.
hit the lap button.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butterwhat Show. This is my lovely co-host, Brian Moses, from briancmoses.com. He's been lovely all night so far. I'm Pat Regan, and I've got a little CNC stuff to talk about here. I saw this neat project from... Uh-oh, have we forgot to say who the projects were from yet tonight?
Well,
This one is from Engineering Workshop. He's made some... this is Hunter White, mechanical engineer. I'm going to skip towards the end for now of this video, Tubby.
okay.
He's made these organizers very much like we were talking about earlier, except very specifically for the CNC hold downs and end mills and things. And he's machined all the pockets. This is all in 2 sheets of MDF, medium density fiberboard. And it's like yours here, Tubby. He's got a space for his calipers, a space for the... I assume that's the wrench he uses to lock in end mills on his tool. And he's got all the little tie downs and stuff. And I want to do this, Tubby. I want to organize my toolbox with something like this. And I guess I'm kind of skipping behind. Usually people do this with foam.
Foam.
Foam. Yep, like it's a Carbide 3D did a video recently cutting this EVA foam
Okay.
stuff. And I was bummed out when I looked up EVA. Like I looked for sheets of this stuff. It's kind of expensive. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was definitely more than MDF. And that makes me think, shouldn't I just cut MDF instead of foam?
Would the foam be faster, maybe?
It might be faster, and I'm going to tell you what the most important thing is, though, Tubby. And it took me a while to realize this. The foam is light.
And
Can you imagine if you put a 1-inch sheet of MDF in the bottom of every
every
drawer in
drawer?
your
Yep, it'd be
moving
heavy.
toolbox?
And it's
That's a
and it probably dampens movement and vibration quite a bit. So, you know, if you had like a bin full of screws, they wouldn't jangle around the whole time your machine was running.
yeah, like this gentleman, engineer.
Yeah.
What's his name? Engineering Workshop. He's got screws. They'll be jangling around in there. You'll hear.
I don't know. I don't think that's a big deal, right? It's going to be in the garage, and the router, your CNC machine, is
So
making
loud.
so much more noise. You won't even hear the jangling.
Yep. But I like the MDF because I think it looks better,
Yep.
and you can paint it or something, I'm sure. But it looks better. It's sturdier, and it's easier to acquire. I don't even know where to buy EVA foam.
Yeah. We can go
I
get
mean, I know you could order it, but then you're paying for shipping. I don't know of a local store to buy it. I could go down to Home Depot and I could buy a whole bunch of MDF for pretty cheap and bring it home. I like that.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
But I think he's done a good job. He's got a very heavy drawer now. But he's got all his stuff nice and organized. I'm bad at organized. My CNC stuff is mostly just, it's in a drawer flopping around.
Everywhere.
He's got between this and Gridfinity, I might do a little of both out in the garage one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, would you want something like this in one of your Hemmler drawers instead of the grids?
I don't know that I'd want it in my Hemmler drawer, but my 3D printer there is on a media cart, and it's got a big drawer, and there's not a whole lot of depth that I could play with where I could stack Gridfinity stuff. So this would almost be more appropriate for the things that I've got stored under my 3D printer.
Yep. I've been wanting to do something like this. I had a plan to. I could pull this out over here. I have this network engineer toolkit, I think it was called, on Amazon, that has crimpers and strippers and cables and cable testers and some very random tools. But I thought it might be nice to get a nice hardwood and do basically this with slots for all of the correct tools. Maybe 3D print some little TPU inserts to clip the tools in.
Yep, that
like
would
you
be
can
neat.
see here, Tubby, for his calipers, there's a round cutout so you can put your fingers in there.
Yeah, and pick it up.
Yeah, I could do a
easier.
little round cutout and put a TPU insert in that, kind of
Squeeze
grab some of the tools.
And I'm realizing one thing that's a big advantage over the Gridfinity. Well,
What's that?
Well, you're constrained by your 3D printing, the surface of
Yep.
your 3D printer. I ran into things. I have scissors, and they're longer than the longest edge of my 3D printer, so I had to
That's
print it
some
wider.
scissors.
Well, I don't know, but it was like
But the
that.
bin it would fit in would be big. If you the number.
Yeah, I would have had to put two pieces together to make a long enough bin. So if you had
Yeah, like they're 6 1/4 units long for the scissors, but you can't fit 7.
yeah, same thing with the calipers. I bet you that would be the same if I tried to lay my calipers flat and design a Gridfinity bin around that. It'd have to be in multiple pieces.
Yep.
And that's a hassle. I mean,
It is.
it's a solvable problem, but I like it way better if you could just plop it down on the CNC machine and it gets hogged out for you.
Well, and this goes so fast. I
Yes.
forget how long it said it took him to cut this. It's probably a 30-minute job to do
Yeah.
one or maybe both of these, and that's fantastic. I mean, it's a 2-hour job to print, one or two medium-sized bins
Yeah.
of Gridfinity, which is fine. The printer, you don't have to babysit the printer like you do the CNC. There's a trade-off there, but I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought it was worth showing our friends on YouTube.
I think it's really cool.
And if you guys know where to buy EVA foam,
Let Pat
like
know
they're
in the
doing
comments.
a simple thing here on Carbide, they're making inserts that go into a, I think it went into an Altoid tin,
Okay.
but I could be wrong about that. I don't think they show us. They're not showing us. If
The
they do,
EV
I'll put a screenshot here.
The EVA phone might be fun for things like packaging, custom packaging material for
Yep.
like Uber.
They do that a
lights.
lot with laser cutters.
Yeah.
Because it'll shoot through the whole thing of foam fast.
Yep.
Yeah, the EVA foam is like, I don't know what to. Not EVA foam is not usually packaging. It's a different kind of foam, that anti-static air-filled foam.
Okay.
But both cut well. Both cut very well.
Yeah.
Well, I should hit lap because we finished an episode.
We did.
So what have we done? 3?
Yes. Has anybody been keeping count? We talked about cameras, Gridfinity, small keyboards, CNC drawers. No, that's 4.
It is true. You can add some foam to the sides to keep the things from
It's a very
wobbling
good,
around.
That's a very good point, Tushar.
I think what this gentleman did here, he used the double-sided tape that we used to hold down parts that we're cutting. He's got a couple of pieces of double-sided tape on each of these to keep them from Michaels has EVA foam. Do they have big enough, huge pieces, like thick, big old honkin'?
Bet you they have a website.
I bet they do too. They have rolls of the thin stuff. Like, see, they've got a 12 by 18 for $1, but they call it a sheet. It's 2 millimeters thick. That won't do the trick.
That's pretty thin.
Yeah, you need a 1/2 inch, like 2 or 3 inches would be awesome to find. I don't know if you'd find that anywhere.
Guess you could make it, maybe glue it together. That'd be fun. Not
That's
fun.
kind of what they do with the packaging. They'll
Yeah.
laser cut the different layers and
Squish them together.
yeah, there's a fantastic. Should we? Let me reach over here, Tubby. Oh my gosh, this is too far away. I'm afraid to move my chair too far because I won't get it back.
Where will the chair go?
Well, I don't know. It moved.
I'm looking to see what Pat just put on. Sounded heavy. Oh, I know what those are. That's exciting.
Yeah, should we talk about?
We can.
I don't know how prepared I am, but it could be a short episode.
Why are you excited about these? We already talked
Well,
about
because
that
we
a
bought
little
them,
bit.
Tubby. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I should bring up the Lumen PNP. PHP. Oh my gosh.
PHP.
I typed Lumen PHP.
You sure it's not Pearl?
Like, well, it's neither. It's
It's a machine.
you better be muted, Judy. We could just play Steven in the background here because he's a good dude.
I'm playing with my autofocus. Don't worry about me.
Oh, it's nice and smooth.
It is.
Do I have to block both eyes? I can't. Trouble is, I can't see when I block my eyes. Oh, I'm not really holding these up there. Tubby, you're gonna tell me how stupid I am.
No, I'm not.
You know
I'm
what I'm
nice.
holding these up to? I'm holding them up to the mic.
Hey,
Right,
everybody,
the-
listen to my PCBs.
Yeah, the camera is way up there. Boy, and it doesn't get much light either that close.
Don't look at my face.
All right, I have to stop giggling before we introduce the next episode.
It's way more fun if you're
12 millimeter would be fantastic. I'm going to go to Michael's one of these days. Because if you can get 12 millimeter sheets of EVA foam there, that's a pretty good thing. I'm going to call that a 1/2 inch. I don't care what the metric system has to say about that. It's close enough.
That's all I got to say about that.
I don't have... Well, I guess I have working ones. I have the old ones.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. My camera just turned off.
It says no video now.
It does say no video. I wonder if I've got a... Did I hit a
We can't see
timeout?
what Brian's up to. We can hear you, though, Tubby, so don't
I
worry.
know.
This is an advantage of using a different audio channel.
I'm back.
Boop.
And I'm recording again. I think.
Oh, there's a red light if you're recording.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I have a red light. Oh, it just stopped again.
oh, I wonder if I'm out of battery.
Oh.
What do you want to bet? What's the bets on?
New camera woes.
Boy, it's warm. I mean, it's not hot, but
Oh, hey, that's me.
yeah. Hi.
I'm looking down at the... Look at how far back that is. I'm about to say, oh, hey, that's me.
It's got the little
The warm
the warm,
face.
but I've got that set to. All right, let's. Oh, there's my other desk. There's me again. Any bets? Boop.
You think we can power through a 5-minute episode here, Tubby?
I think we can.
'Cause we can always let you cool off for a minute before we. I'm gonna pretend you're okay. You think you're recording?
Yeah, I hit the button.
Well,
We'll
we've
know.
got you in the backup anyway.
Yeah, we'll know later tonight. I hope we do. It'd be disappointing. My wife is too nice. You see what she said in the chat?
I did, but I didn't. I didn't want to make the joke that I was gonna make because it's rude. But
You're allowed to be rude to me.
am I really?
Well, maybe next time you offer to eat a chicken McNugget, I'll hold you to it.
All right, I'm gonna try to go fast, Tubby. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host Brian Moses. He's still lovely. He might be too hot for the camera, I hear. That's what I'm told. But Tubby, today we're talking about this episode, we ordered a Lumen PNP open source pick and place machine.
That's exciting.
We ordered that about, I'm going to say it's almost 8 weeks ago. I don't know if it was really 8 weeks ago. See You Diane ordered us new Uber Lights piece. Well, he didn't order. I ordered them, but he designed the new PCBs.
The latest iteration. Here's a
put together one.
yeah.
I attempted to manually put together one. It's missing some LEDs. I got the first 3 LEDs to light up. And in trying to fix the 4th one, I knocked other ones off with the hot air gun. I cannot do this manually. We need the robot.
Aren't you glad we're getting a pick and place machine?
I'm so glad we're getting a pick and place machine. I have a tracking number as of this afternoon, and I've got the Opulo video playing over here next to me here, the Lumen pick and place. So I can't show you guys this. Can I bring a tweet up with the Uber lights, Tubby?
I bet you could. Or maybe we could overlay a screenshot of the KiCad diagram.
Yeah, I will do a good job of that when
comes video editing time.
When it comes video editing time. But for all the nice people out here that are watching us live, this little guy in the middle here, these LEDs, that is our Uber Lights board. And the idea here, this one in the screenshot here that's animating, those purple LEDs are showing you that I have, somewhere a little over 50%, 7 out of 12, 7/12 of my SSD was full that day. The green LED is how fast my network is downloading. The blue LED is how fast it's uploading. I've got one on there. It's not on this animation, I guess, but I've got a little CPU meter in the middle, in the middle ring. But the idea is to put this in your server, your little home server usually, because that's our audience. And you can get little status updates. And you can plug this into a Raspberry Pi. I'm pretty excited because it's pretty neat, Tubby. What do you think?
That's a super cool project. It's been fun. It's been fun watching you guys design both the hardware and then start thinking of different use cases and the software for it. Oh, you almost dropped
that. Did you see that?
I did.
There's one LED soldered on here. How do I block my eyes here? This was cool. See You Diane set this up so that you can chain one board to the next. So you could set up, if your route is right, you could do a grid of. So like you could go bananas. Like if your Raspberry Pi has 4 cores, you could put 4 of them in your Raspberry Pi case, and each one could be a different CPU core. If we can write the software to do that,
I could make a badass headband.
Really badass headband. You can put it on there like
do a Larson scanner.
The Karate Kid. Yeah. But I'm excited because when See You Diane designed our first board, and he did the math on PCBWay to get these assembled with the LEDs and everything, he said if we order $2,500 worth of boards, we can get them for, $2-3 a board. I was like, I don't want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on something nobody. I don't even know if anybody will buy them.
Potentially, yeah, to buy 2,500 of them, and then maybe have to give them all away or not have uses for them, is a little
Yeah.
intimidating.
So instead, we bought a $1,200 pick and place machine that's going to live behind me over here for now, and which will still be worth $1,200 in a month when we can't figure out how to work it and nobody
It'll
wants to buy these.
it'll be
things.
worth more because it's assembled.
That could be true. That could very well be true. And the PCBs were inexpensive. I think I paid $120 for this big stack of. I think there's 200 or 250 Uber Lights boards in here. And the LEDs are cheaper than PCBWay got them to us for. It's all fantastic. All the numbers are fantastic. I only bought enough LEDs to make like 40 boards though. I didn't do the math.
40 boards
But
is,
it's a good number to start with.
yep.
And we'll be able to get more LEDs. That won't be too much trouble. They're little NeoPixels. They're easy to work with. How do I block both my eyes? There we go.
Blindfold.
But we don't have a lot to update you on yet, except that the
It's-
machine shipped. We have PCBs. We have LEDs. I have solder paste.
Tune in
I'm
to
all ready to start failing over the next few weeks.
follow Pat's Head Com and Brian C. Moses on Twitter. I'm sure
Oh, I could put those up on the screen here.
I'm sure we'll be
and-
talking. I'm sure we'll be sharing some of our lessons
Shenanigans.
learned, shenanigans, assembling the kit, and then creating the first few sheets of
Yep.
Uber Lights.
There's a box of 3D printed parts. You don't just spend $1,200 on the kit. You have to print the parts
Yep.
on your 3D printer. And that's about a spool of filament worth of stuff. I know Brian kept a log of exactly how long everything took. And it was I know
wow.
about how long it takes to print a spool of filament. It's days.
Yep. It was fun.
But we compared this, I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here, but we compared this to $10,000 pick and place machines, which are 2 to 4 times faster than what we're buying. But geez, we'd have to sell a lot of boards to pay for a $10,000 machine.
And maybe we will.
Oh, that's exciting. I hope we do. But this is kind of cool because we can make, I'm going to get in the weeds again, Tubby.
Oh,
God bless it.
We're all over.
It's happening.
Do it.
But like these boards have 21 pixels. And I say there's 3 rings, but technically the middle ring is just one.
It's a
It's
ring.
just the one dot, right?
It's a ring of one.
A ring of one. But we could add a ring, another layer. We could go this onion can go bigger. And that would be a bummer if we had to order them assembled from PCBWay, because CU Dine would tell me, oh yeah, if you want to get those, now you're going to have to spend $3,000 to get them for $2, $3, $4
Yeah.
per board. And then we'd have 2 different sizes that we've spent $6,000 total on, and we'd have to sell them. And I don't know that $6,000 worth of people would buy them. But now we could just buy $100 worth of PCBs and assemble them as we need them. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fantastic. So what's everybody?
Oh,
YouTube?
neat. Tashar is using. I would love to see Tashar, if you send me some video of that, I will put it in this public. Only if you want me to. I don't want to steal your video, but I would be happy and excited to put your NeoPixel indicators in the video, and
We'll show an example.
Tashar in our chat is telling us about he's doing something with NeoPixel strips for server monitoring.
That's exciting.
Isn't it? I think that's neat.
I don't think I bet you $1 they're not ugly.
Oh, I bet
Tashar's-
they're not ugly.
Tashar's saying he thinks they're ugly.
Well, you know what I want to show you, Tashar, is, oh my gosh, this is a mess here. Yeah, our first boards were insane.
They still are. Not were.
They still are. Oh, you've got one too. Tashar, this fits in a 5 1/4 inch optical drive bay. And it has one extra layer of LEDs compared to, and The final one of this was going to have a third ring in the middle, so all sorts of LEDs for. But then the pandemic happened, and the all the shortages of parts happened, and that's going to be way too expensive to make because we couldn't get it with the microcontroller and all the power hardware.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer. But I think I like where we're going anyway. I like the new direction with the smaller, simpler boards. Don't mix this up with the previous prototypes, Tubby. That's something I have to remember. But I think that's an episode. What do you think, Tubby?
I think that's an episode too.
Heck yeah.
I'm interested to see how long that first video where the camera turned off was.
Yeah.
I got the small rig.
And there's no hurry. It will take me. We publish these once a week, so it's not like you have to. Yeah, this will be the fourth. This won't be going live until.
Oh.
Well, that's okay, Tubby.
There I go again.
We made it.
We made it.
Were you recording 4K or something?
It's a very good question. I sure hope not. I apologize in advance if I didn't.
Well, I'll be okay if you did. I'll manage.
So what kind of things do we have to figure out before our next show? Why I sound like a chipmunk in my...
Yeah, I wonder if it was something simple. I wonder if you could just unplug and replug your EVGA thing.
Yeah, that's what I was... That was one of the things I was considering doing.
I can hit lap here. I can hit... Geez, can I see all of them? Yes, 7. Screenshot. Make
7.
sure we know about when all these episodes start.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if I've got... Is it low battery or is it overheating?
I'm guessing overheating because it went 5 more minutes.
Yeah, that's what
Or
I'm guessing
more.
too. And it didn't charge enough in that couple minutes it was off to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh, it is toasty.
Well, it was good to meet you, Tushar. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I pronounce things poorly half the time. At least half the time. Almost as often as Brian does. And I'll be excited to find you over in Discord.
Yeah.
I have no idea where my Discord window went. I am a mess here. There are so many video windows and recording windows and who knows what windows everywhere. Browsers for... I'm not well organized. And I can't go too wide. I can't add another monitor because I have to look at the camera. And the farther away I get, the less likely I am to look at the camera.
You could fit a cell phone or a tablet above that camera.
Yeah, I sure could. Ooh.
You should see the face I'm making. My camera shut down, so you can't, but...
I mean, boy, I really could fit, like a Pixel 1 would fit in there. Pixel 2 or whatever I have.
I've got a Kindle 8
That's
laying
too
around
bad.
here somewhere.
But I don't know how I would get... I just want you on there. Like an extra Riverside connection just watching? I wonder if it'd let me do that.
Oh God, I made you go away.
How did we do? 10:30. Barely 90 minutes to do 4 episodes. That's not too bad.
Is that a record?
No, we've done it in an hour before. But I know we were a few minutes late. But I think we did pretty good. I bet we talked a lot about the Gridfinity. I
I
bet
think
that's kind of all over the place.
I bet you that's a long episode too.
Yeah, but I bet we can. I bet I could scooch that around and
What's
make
that?
it make sense.
What's everybody else think? What was our longest episode tonight?
Can I cheat and look?
No, you're not allowed to cheat. I said everybody else. You're not part of everybody else.
And you know what the trouble is? I don't know. I know I missed a lap in here somewhere, so I don't know when there starts and stops. I'm so excited. I learned a new thing in DaVinci Resolve, Tubby.
And you just can't hide it? Are you about to
Well,
lose control and you think you like
yeah,
it?
I do like it. Just like the song.
What'd you
Yeah,
find
I
out?
used to do our 2-way and 3-way splits for this and for the other podcast. Yeah, I would do one transform operation on each video.
Okay.
And that would, so I would crop and move each video. And then that gets goofed up. So then if like halfway through the video somebody moves and they're sitting over here, I have to move them over and then I have to recrop because the crop moves. I learned you could do it in 2 layers. You could do 2 separate transforms. So you could do one to position those. You do 1 layer of transforms to put the 1, 2, 3 videos all the size and the shape they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use the second layer of transforms to scooch the person around inside their window.
Oh.
And this is fantastic because I could save. And I could save these as adjustment layers that I could drop onto the clip. So I could. It's going to be so much faster setting up a timeline of interviews. I've only gotten to do this once, but it was with 17. At 18 just came out, and I didn't import anything into 18, so I just have to make these again. We have to teach Chris that it's gridfinity, like a grid into infinity and beyond. Chris thinks the keyboard was longer. What do you think, Tubby?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. Nothing would surprise me. But it was very nice to meet you, Tushar. I think
And Larry?
it's probably about time for Brian and I to sign off. I'm starting to get warm in here.
It's time to turn the air conditioning back on.
Yes,
I turn it off for the live streams.
I do too. I was a little late turning it off today, though.
I have
Jesus.
it plumbed
It's
into
74 in the hallway, and my door is closed, so it's probably more like 80 in here.
I have it plumbed into my home automation.
I don't have any automation on it, but I just used Home Assistant to turn it back on.
Well, I have a scene for my live stream, and I use whether that scene is. Well, I have a switch also that keeps track of that scene, and when that switch is on, it turns off the AC, and it also a bunch of my other home automation checks to make sure I'm not live streaming to do things. You know, like I've got home automation to turn my fan in here on if it gets too warm.
Yeah. Oh, that feels nice. You can't see it. I'm not even turning. My mic isn't even turning green when the AC is blowing. But I know you can hear it when I'm talking. I know it's there. I can hear it when I do my audio.
Okay, Google, turn off the live stream.
Got it. Turning off the live
Well,
stream.
you guys all have a good night, and you too, Tubby.
You too, Pat. Thanks,
I
everybody.
hope to see everybody in three weeks.
Well, in
First Tuesday next
hopefully
time.
in Discord tonight, and
Yes.
then at our next live stream.
But I'm not going to look at Discord until I get back from the bathroom.
Okay.
Because I learned how to poop in this toilet also, Brian. Just FYI.
You relearned how to poop in that toilet.
I've relearned. I learned again. But I'm going to hit stop at Riverside. I think that will disconnect us.
Good night, everybody.